Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey. This is your girl, the Philly Bruja. Or like Clem says, Bruja, baby. Happy Saturday, y'all. Let me know if you can hear me. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Oh my goodness. Look who is in the building. The home wrecker himself. Third World, what's good? It's Saturday. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No fancy YouTube, what you call it? No fancy, StreamYard and stuff like that. I'm straight live from my cell phone. I hope y'all can hear me. So I don't know if oh wait, let me do my own intro. Kiki, they call me the Oracle. I'm about to make this historical. These questions you asking rhetorical. Like who do I be? I am the queen. I reign supreme. You didn't know? What do you mean? And then my son comes in. Looky, they call me the Oracle. I'm about to make this historical. Yes. Look at me serenading y'all this Saturday fine morning, dropping some bars. I am the queen. I reign supreme. You didn't know? What do you mean? What do you mean? All right, I'm not gonna keep y'all long. Hey, yeah, Dad, what's up? The gated community is open. Just briefly, just briefly. It's a exclusive, you know. I just felt compelled to go live in regards to you said trying to put the whole record away. You know what? I think that everybody deserves a second, third, fourth, sometimes a fifth chance. You know what I'm saying? Lena, what's up? This looks so weird streaming straight from my phone. I hope that my Wi-Fi is not glitching and y'all can hear me. And just put a 1 in there if y'all can hear me because I can't tell on your phone. I can't see the little, speaker thing moving or whatever, like StreamYards. Oh, well, I guess you can because I called you a home wrecker. Yeah. Okay. So listen, did anybody get a chance to watch the Dahmer? Thank you, Lena. Did anybody get a chance to watch the Dahmer shit? Man, listen. Y'all know like scary, spooky, weird, obscure serial killers. Like that's my thing, right? So like Halloween is 365, sometimes 366 days a week in my house, right? In the Tiffany, or excuse me, the Bruja universe. You know what I mean? It's Halloween all the time. Okay? Listen, I had already did my research on Dahmer, right? Quite some time ago. Actually, when that whole thing broke, I was a kid. And most of us in our 40s, we were kids. So you really didn't get a chance to go all the way down that rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Being children, we saw it on the news or whatever. If I'm not mistaken, they might have even had Court TV. Hey, Mixology, what's good? Shit, I forgot to put this on subscribers only, so hopefully I have mods in here. Can you delete the trolls? Pretty please and thank you. Well, I'm not gonna well, can you really give it spoilers? Because I think everyone is kind of aware of the story. Let me just tell you what messed my head up. What messed my head up is I didn't know how much authorities had dropped the ball on Jeffrey, right? They had multiple times to arrest this motherfucker. And they didn't do it. Just like now, uh, folks who are the minority, if their voices aren't heard a lot of times. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if y'all ever smelled a dead body. I'm thinking, what's that boys in the hood? You ever smell it? Do you ever see a dead body? I don't know if you ever smelled a dead body. That's a distinct kind of smell, okay? And that's not something like you can kind of get out of your nostrils. Even the smell of a dead animal, right? That's a distinct kind of smell. So you could just imagine what that apartment building, not only his apartment, but the building itself, right? It smelled like. And you got all of these different times that the neighbors are saying something is going on. You know what I mean? Something is going on. And every time they ignored it. They ignored it. Because, it was already a low class, if you will. neighborhood, underdeveloped urban area. So, nobody was listening. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, they could have like really saved like 16 other people, right? And then you got the gay community that ties into that. And at that time, we all know that was the 90s, late 80s, 90s. So you have that whole stigma too. But the thing that kept me watching this series, right, is because they showed the different perspective. They actually showed the perspective of the people around the situation that he actually affected. And I'm telling you, I think it was episode 7 when they did the replay of the court trials when she was like, I hate you, Jeffrey. Remember that? I'm sure everyone remembers that, even from back in the day. You want to talk about being triggered? Because I literally could remember my own self, having to get on a stand and give a victim impact statement, uh, not once, but twice. So, yeah, they are coming out one with Ted Bundy. I think that should be good. And it's not, as far as spoilers, we already know how that ends, right? We all know that he was killed by another inmate in jail. But to me, I've always been fascinated by the psychology, of serial killers. I don't think it gets deeper than Sam Little. I talked about him. I think I unprivated that live. Sam Little took me down a whole, wormhole here, okay? The fact that he could recall the majority of his victims and recreate their portraits. He drew them. So I was always fascinated by the mind of a serial killer. Like, are they born? Are they made? You know what I'm saying? How does this develop? But I think that in this series, this Netflix series, they captured the feelings and emotions um, from the people affected around it, not only from the neighbors, the surviving victim. I did do a little bit of research on the guy who was actually successful in getting Jeffrey Dahmer uh, arrested, right? And that's when the whole thing came to an end or whatever. So I did a little research on him. I think what was his name? Shit, it escapes me at the moment. But I'm saying, they were at first they were saying that he had did a couple times in jail himself, right? Uh, he dropped off the radar. But then as I was digging deeper, apparently he was accused in a murder, allegedly. Something about someone being thrown off a bridge a few years later after that. Could you imagine just having to go through all of that with the whole Jeffrey Dahmer thing? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Just having to relive that. You know what I'm saying? Or try to come back from something so horrible. It's just, I can't even imagine. I I can even imagine being in that courtroom or on that jury, seeing those photos. Have you guys ever seen the photos of the pictures they found in the Polaroids? Well, I seen them. I seen them. Hold on, let me check my comments. Hey, Miss Holly. Oh, I said hey, you girl, guy. Either way, I like that name. Yeah, yeah, but I be going to sleep to serial killer movies. It's like, or horror, or the weird shit. It's like bedtime stories, like lullabies. Um, I don't know if y'all ever seen the crime scene photos and some of the Polaroids that they had actually found. I seen them many years ago. They are still out there floating around. Proceed with caution because Jeffrey Dahmer was a sick motherfucker. Okay, just the way that he was posing the bodies and things of that. Oh my God, it was so sick. Hold on, we're about to be interrupted by the boss. Give me 1 second. He's trying to get in. Uh-huh. Is he gonna be successful? Let's see. Let's see. Is he? I don't think he's gonna be successful. But anyway, hold on. Your sisters is downstairs. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. I know. I'm coming. Come on. Where's your sister? 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 You are such a terrible watcher. I'm trying. I know you are, honey. I don't pay you to try. I pay you to get it done. Sorry, y'all. This is life. Anyway, those pictures is out there. I would definitely tell y'all to proceed with caution if you do decide to go down that rabbit hole. I couldn't even imagine all the other things that was actually put out, well, released in court, that was never put out for the public. But I really, really, really love this series because it gave you a different point of view. It gave you a different perspective from the victims and the people and the family around it. So I would definitely suggest it. No, it's not. My sister, she was the one. She's like, I'm about to say my Roman. She was like, Bruja, have you watched it? Yeah, I know you're on it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on it. And she was like, she's scared to watch it. She really doesn't like like the scary stuff or whatever. And I said, I'm on it. And I started watching it, then I went down this whole entire rabbit hole of other stuff. Anyway, I would definitely say, if it isn't like a horror film, not to me anyway, not even close to like horror or slash. I wouldn't put it in the horror genre, put it that way. More like the real life. Um, yeah, what it is, true crime. But the perspective that they shown from the people around him, it just gave it a whole different kind of picture. Because if you guys can remember all the different interviews and things of that nature in the books and My Friend Dahmer and all the other stuff, they gave you the perspective, almost somewhat sympathetic to this monster. You know what I mean? I mean, this motherfucker has so many goddamn red flags. It is ridiculous how many red flags there was. From the taxidermy shit with the animals. You know. Then I went down the whole thing about at some point Jeffrey Dahmer was linked to, what's his name? John Walsh. Like somehow he was linked to John Walsh son's murder in some way, somehow, and then it just kind of fizzled out. And then you have the Vaughn guy, the one who actually lived in an apartment building, and they found him strangled, sodomized in a weird position, but they never actually counted him as one of the victims of Jeffrey Dahmer. None of the reports that I've seen before now, because they briefly touched on it in the Netflix series, and that made me go down that rabbit hole as well. You know, but definitely watch it. I don't think you would be scared. I don't think it's a scary horror movie, because to me, I'm not afraid of supernatural ghostly things. Not too much. Um, I'm more afraid of shit that really happened. So this would be considered something that really happened. You know what I mean? Or something that could happen again. Or like things like Silent Hill. What was it called? No, the Eyes Have Hills. Eyes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that kind of shit. Like that. I'm not afraid of the dead for the most part. I'm afraid of the living. And these unhinged motherfuckers. But it just seems to me like everybody around him knew dude was weird. And it was messing my head up how they kept saying he was so unassuming. Well, what's unassuming? This man frequented the LGBT LGBTQ element as bars, right? And from the portrayal, it seemed like he would actually stick out. He lived in a very urban area, so he would stick out. It reminds me of the time when somebody did get killed. This is probably like only one murder around here, in this little town, but the cops went door to door to talk to the neighbors, to see if we saw anything suspicious. And I remember saying to the detective who knocked on the door, I said, "Well, what's suspicious? Because what is suspicious to you may not be suspicious to me." And then that's when I came out. I said, "Did somebody get murdered or killed? What's going on here?" And he was like, "Yeah, someone, down the street, was murdered or whatever the case may be." And I was like, "Nah, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary." But again, it was suspicious. You know what I mean? You might think that a young black guy with a hoodie or something like that on is suspicious, where I wouldn't think that. It's just a black guy with a hoodie on, you know? Let me read some of these comments real quick. But yeah, someone like Jeffrey Dahmer, oh hell yeah, he's suspicious. He would definitely be considered suspicious. Hold on. Well, the real Jeffrey Dahmer tapes don't come out until October 7th. But that's just the movie of it. Well, the series of it. It's crazy, right? Mm-hmm. I know. I like it so far. It's good. It's good. It shows us. Huh? Yeah. Oh, you mean the cinematography? Yeah. Yes, it's real good. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. Hey, y'all. Let me read these comments real quick, and then I'm gonna go, cause Chunk really does not want to be bothered with his siblings. He wants his mama. So I'm gonna cut this short and cuddle up with him. What time is it? It's probably like his nap time. He been up since 6. It's okay. Making yes, I seen Rich. Hey TJ. Rich people buying art. Yeah. That's sick as it's sick as hell. It's sick as hell. Speaking of art, not to get off the topic, but a few years back, yeah, damn it, those bathhouses. Yeah, I would find him very suspicious. You know what I mean? Even being in the building, I would be like that neighbor. You're suspicious, sir. You're fitting out like a sore thumb. You're like, no, who the fuck are you? Where did you come from? Okay. Um, Speaking of art, I always tell people to be mindful of the antiques and things and stuff like that you buy. We'll get into that for Halloween. Um, the antiques and artwork and all that other stuff like that from these sometimes estate sales or yard sales. One of my best investments, I had a neighbor who was moving, and she had all these paintings outside, and like I bought 3 of them, and for $5 a piece. I had bought 2, and I said, "Damn, I love this so much. Let me go back and get the other one," because she had like 7 or 8 of them. So come to find out, the artist, after I did my research on it, the artist was actually killed in like a very tragic car accident, and she was a friend of his. Yo, those pictures is worth like 5 to 10,000 a pop. And I actually gave one to my cousin before I did the research. I wish I could get it back. I don't even like her. Anyway, be careful of the artwork that you buy, because sometimes that shit has attachments. Now, even in the Dahmer series, they had touched on motherfuckers was actually trying to buy his tools of destruction. They wanted to buy this shit. Like, that's just insane. They wanted to buy, his little drawings and the shit that was found in the apartment and all of this other crazy shit. Like, that's weird. That is so weird. Hold on. Let me say. See you out here? Crazy. Hey, Daquan. I'm sorry if I'm mixing. I'm missing. I looked at mixology and I said mixing. I'm sorry if I missed anyone. Because, when you're on your phone, or my phone, it, the comments fade away. So I'm sorry if I missed anyone. I'll be interested in seeing the Ted Bundy thing as well. Especially if they did it from this perspective, which only got me thinking about my She Has a Name. That's just a baby project of mine's where I wanted to touch on how we see these different stories, and they'll be like Jane Doe found yada 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 on the news, and they never follow up. They never follow up and say, well, they've been identified. Who was the woman? Who was her family? How did it affect um, the people around the murder? I probably would start that off with myself and my own family. You know what I mean? And how my mother's murder affected those around it. So I could really appreciate um, this particular series, right? Because they did go in detail about the family and the friends and people who associated with him. They touched on that, and it gives you even more so of a different outlook. I think they did an excellent job. I definitely if you get some time to go ahead and watch it, for real, that's good TV. And like my daughter just said when she came in the room, she didn't have the word for it, but the cinematography was great. Yes, they did a good job. Let me see. Yes, Isha, what's up, girl? Listen, yes. Glinda, are you a good witch or a bad witch? But yeah, they did. It's a doozy now, and I know because at first I was like, I'm not watching this shit. I already know everything I can know about the Jeffrey Dahmer story. You know what I mean? I'm like, what's more there? What's more to it? We know what it was hidden for. But yeah, watch it because it definitely gives you a different look at it. Definitely. And then you have what do you call it? They're doing John Wayne Gacy. They're doing him. That's coming up. And then they're releasing the Dahmer tapes on October 7th by Netflix. So Isha, sorry, is more in detail from the victim's perspective. Yes, I don't think I've caught any documentary or even the movie My Friend Dahmer, or I think it was the series, whatever it was. Um, it didn't take it from this point of view, from the victims themselves, from the victims' families, to his parents, his grandmother, and his his mother, right? It looked at it from all of their point of views. It was one scene in that movie. I can't remember what episode. This was one of the victims they had got away. And they didn't really go into too much with this particular person's background, not so much. But I don't recall this ever coming up on any of the other documentaries when he drugged that young man in his grandmom's house. And his grandmom was like, she was on it. Grandmom was on it. She was like, not, no. She was like, Jeffrey, you got a friend? And then she like, I didn't know you had black friends. But grandma knew something was up. Grandma knew something was wrong. Grandma was like, no, he is drunk or something is wrong with him, and I'm going to stay here all night. That's right. I'm going to stay here the whole night. Grandma sat there the whole night. She was not playing with her fucking crazy ass grandson. She sat up that whole night and watched that young man of color, okay? And then when he got up, he still was like, drowsy and drunk. And grandma said, no, we going to put this motherfucker on a bus. And Jeffrey was pissed. But grandma was not having it. She saved the life that night, okay? Because she was like, no, I'm sitting right here. I'm sitting right here the whole time, okay? I'm not going nowhere. Nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Granny was not here for the shit. She knew her damn grandson was a fucking weirdo. All of them knew that. All of them knew that. Let me say, I had to. Yes, Wyatt, I'm gonna have to get you up for an interview one day. Oh, Gabriel Hernandez. Yeah, yeah. I think the ones that disturb my spirit the most are the ones who do stuff to little kids, or something like that. They knew something was wrong with that motherfucker. They knew it. They knew it. He in there playing with dead animals. I mean, and that's the thing. People do like to do taxidermy. It's not my thing, but I guess a lot of people got different kind of hobbies. But that went above and beyond. Okay, when he sat in that that waiting room in the department store to steal the goddamn mannequin, child, I was like, stop playing with me. I know you lying. He sat in there all that time to get the mannequin and then took the mannequin back home, child, and slept with it. Mm-mm-mm. My coffee is cold. What was more crazy, not only what he did to the 14-year-old, is the two dumbass cops that let him go. And let this man talk them into thinking that that's his boyfriend. And he's just drunk. And everybody else is saying, nah, that's a kid. That's a kid. That's a kid. Do you know those cops who was a part of the Dahmer thing, right? Do you know that those two bastards was actually fired? And then 2 years later, they was not that we're surprised, people of color, right? No, we're not surprised at the fuck all. They were actually reinstated with back pay. Both of them has gone on to flourishing law enforcement careers. Both of them. Who's surprised on that? Not me. He probably did, because he probably did get caught on purpose. He probably did, but I say watch it. Go ahead and watch it. It's good. It's not like a horror thing. Hmm. I wouldn't class it as horror. It's just a true crime kind of thing. But I'm sure he wanted to get caught, but he still continued his sick ways when when he was in jail, prison or whatever. He actually thought he was a celebrity. He had women writing him. I'm not surprised about that. I don't understand that. Writing the infamous inmates, and that shit is just weird. I don't know. But yeah, that's crazy. That whole thing is crazy. Yeah, I definitely will tell y'all to watch it. Let me see. Well, mixology. This the little boy had escaped from him, and he was in his drawers, I think, down to his drawers, or he might have been naked, and he actually was able to convince the police that this man was. You know what? He did say something about him being 19. I don't know what the laws is in this is Wisconsin. What's the drinking? I thought the drinking age was 21 across the board. Somebody can let me know. I don't know. Um, but yeah, how about that? Because I think he said something like, "Oh well, he's 19 or something like that." Something like that. Just watch it. Just go ahead and if y'all got time. Yeah, like a suspense thriller. Yeah, like I would definitely say something like that. Yeah. Right. And it was a couple of the neighbors who was adamant that he was a kid, but they didn't care. They let him go on back up there to his death. Anyway, if y'all get some time, you know what I mean, to get a chance to watch the series, 10 episodes, go forth. You won't regret it. It's just a well put together series from a different perspective on the whole entire situation. Excellent. It was excellent. So that's all I got for y'all this Saturday. I just wanted to come on live just briefly to just chit chat about that for a little bit, you know? He was able to get away so long because it was who he was killing. He was killing, the minority. He's killing black folks and, LGBT element of P folks. And at the time, nobody cares. I mean, shit, you can barely get them to care now. So that part. That's how he was able to get along with it, get away with it for so long. If y'all also get a chance, go check out Sam Little. The shit behind him, that'll take you down a whole whole rabbit hole. He was able to get away with it so long because of the choices that he chose as victims. Either they were black women or black women and prostitutes, or white women who was prostitutes. Ladies of the night, if you will. So he was able to get away with that for so long because of who the people, because of the lifestyle of people actually found themselves in. Put it that way. So that's all I got for y'all today. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. I hope you all enjoy the fall that is coming in. Okay. Oh, look at you. Yeah, that's weird, Isha, but I'm going to let y'all go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hey, be great. Remember to be sucker free. Since I'm coming live from my phone, I'm just going to sing my outro. Fuck this shit, I'm out.